Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Trader with me, Bring It On. Let's head to the Anatomical Opera and see if we can't locate more companions.
I always have a backup plan.
Oh, have you seen the fresh meat in the arena? It was an exceptional Monkai. Common Monkai do not last long. May have survived only to be gutted by the bloodstained proselytes tomorrow. Fall back real quick. We can't talk to anybody.
I always keep my options open.
Nor can we leave. Fort! Oh, something up there. Oh well. The creature in front of you is a patchwork of skin stuffed with darkness, corruption, and sharp objects. Staring at you with its scalpel eyes, it grumpily remarks, "Such a disobedient specimen. You're still not dead. An anomaly." Its foul, corrupt thoughts reach out to you, groping at your face. "Do not touch me, you foul abomination. But I see you will soon become a very obedient specimen. Compulsive spasms, hysterical reactions. Come here." The creature pokes you in the chest, its triangular fingernail easily penetrating your skin. A strange sound throbs at the edge of your awareness, a sound similar to your own scream. A grotesque spider-like figure looms over you. Its limbs wave frantically, chittering and clicking as they rip something apart and stitch it back together, and you realize its canvas is your flesh. The Xenos' gaze is indifferent, and his low voice echoes through the room. The sample has been extracted. The specimen is alive. Body and mind expected to function with the normal parameters, Monkai. Examine the Xenos. There's something fundamentally wrong with the Xenos' silhouette and its twitchy, abrupt movements, and it sets your mind reeling in disgust. Each of its mechanical tool appendages seem designed to be as sickening and horrifying as possible. What happened to me? The control worm in your nervous system detected my proximity. It signaled it was dying by injecting a lethal dose of hallucinogenic euphoriants into your bloodstream. A resourceful individual. That thing in my head is your pet. The Jakari holds up the pale maggot, same one you saw in Marizai's hands. As you watch, the tool appendages perform a swift dissection. The maggot's flesh bursts under the scalpel-like claw and blossoms to a disgusting, slimy flower. The Xenos' slow manner of speaking creates an unnerving dissonance with the frantic movements of his limbs. I grew the specimen specifically for you, Monkai. During your interrogation, it intoxicated your feeble senses to limit unnecessary resistance. What a curious experiment it was. I usually extract control worms from specimens posthumously. You possess some degree of bodily fortitude. Glance at the dissected maggot. You eviscerate everything you lay your hands on. Evisceration is one aspect of my most respected art. His scalpel fingers scrape together with a hushed metallic shriek. You did a poor job training your pet, if I was able to shake off its influence. With a gurgling sound, Xeno slowly yet steadily moves a sharp finger to your eye, closer and closer, almost touching, then stops with a sigh. Not now, perhaps later. I demand recompense for all the outrageous experiments you've subjected me to. The haemonculus lets out a laugh of contempt. Recompense, you brazen scrap of flawed flesh. I did you an honor by lowering myself to interacting with your trivial organics branded by inferiority. Are you Tervantias? You are absolutely correct, specimen. I am Tervantias, the Arch Machinator, the haemonculus and the conductor of this place that staggers the imagination and soul, my Anatomical Opera. Offer you gratitude for saving my life. The concept of gratitude is unclear to me, but you will work off your debt. The Rebenian urged me to pay attention to your allegedly extremely gifted self-specimen. Let us see if you make a good tool. Same as you, little moth. Xenos points a mangled limb towards Owlcat. Unless, of course, the darkness of Kimura burns you as fast as the others. Owlcat flinches. What does this mean, haemonculus? Who knows, Asarani? Who knows? Xenos makes a chuckling sound. What exactly did this Arbenian tell you about me? Xenos lets out a strange sound that almost resembles a scoff. This information should not burden your undeveloped mind. Your Arabenian told me enough to give you the chance to enter my Anatomical Opera. That is all you need to know. You, a Drukari, would do business with a human. How remarkably open-minded. Do business. The haemonculus looks puzzled. I will do no business with you. I will use you. You survived a battle in the arena, which means you have uncommon parameters for your kind. You are a lesser organism, true, but the towering heights of my wisdom make it difficult to distinguish between your inferiority and the inferiority of most of my kin. What do you want from me? You will return to the arena of the Fatal Thirst. You will kill a few of the witch's fosterlings for me. You might even spill the blood of one of the bloodstained proselytes. The haemonculus looks past you as he delivers his imperious speech. They are long overdue a small lesson in humility. They have forgotten their place. They lack respect. They do not appreciate my work. They fail to recognize my authority. Still staring into the distance, he continues to list his grievances with maniacal thoroughness. The haemonculus makes a snapping sound. Here comes Abyss and his fosterlings. The leader of the bloodstained proselytes has paid a visit to the Anatomical Opera. Take this opportunity to study them properly. They won't dare touch you here. What will I get out of this? Will you coerce me as you do everyone else? Coercion will be more than enough. If you disobey, I'll turn you into material for my creations and ensure that you feel and are aware of every manipulation performed on your flesh. But if you do what I tell you to do, I'll let you live for a while longer. Cooperation will increase your odds of survival. As long as you continue to be of use, I'll maintain your organic parts, and perhaps even let you play with some of my less significant samples. Yeah, I shall serve you if you help me make my escape. Your response is acceptable. If you behave like a good specimen, Monkai, you may eventually receive my help in escaping Kimura. The Fleshmaster is mad enough to help us escape in favor of his own unholy designs. But the price, Elantok, will be unfair and terrible. Obedience will be rewarded. Take your crude gear with you. I abhor such technological banality, but a creature as undeveloped as you may find it of use. You hear one of the joints in Tervantias' arm click. Once you're finished with this, go and look at the ones who will be your executioners when the time comes for you to die. Remember, if you try to deceive me, you will suffer a fate worse than death. I even know which fate specifically, the Pale Monkai, one who cannot stop prattling about your pitiful faith, is quite susceptible to my method. Alright, there's all of our stuff. The sheer primitiveness of your technologies. Go Specimen. Deliver Tervantias' message of blood to the arena witches. The haemonculus gestures imperiously at the exit. I require your aid, haemonculus. Tervantias arches an eyebrow. You forget yourself, Specimen. Go and serve my will. Should I ever decide to show you favor, I'll do so at a time of my choosing. My success benefits you. It is reasonable for you to help me. Haemonculus waves you off in irritation. If you're unable to make yourself useful, I'd rather wait for you to die and find myself a better tool. You should be worthy of my attention, not a drain on it. We made a deal. You promised you'd provide help. Do not think of reneging on what we agreed upon. A deal? Tervantias hisses. You wretch. I do not make deals with the likes of you. I command you. If you insult me by even insinuating that you and I are equals ever again, I'll deprive you of the privilege of cohesive organic existence. Is there anything I can offer to repay a being of such brilliance for the attention he may graciously grant me? Tervantias' smile is a strange combination of contempt and pleasure. Your paltry possessions do not interest me. If you had something that could intrigue a master sculptor such as I, perhaps a remarkable piece of organics, then I might grant you a few short moments of my time. If it is a sacrifice you want, artisan of flesh, then I'm ready to offer myself as one. Owlcat's voice vibrates. She keeps her eyes locked on Tervantias. Will you take my flesh? I'll take more than flesh. I can extract something far more valuable from a single shred of your organics. The haemonculus smiles unnervingly. This does interest me. I'll not remove much of her. Her functionality will not suffer. Owlcat, why? This will be a step upon the path of atoning for the errors of my past, Alatok. My sacrifice will bring you closer to salvation. I'll commit myself in the hands of this tormentor. No, we'll speak no more of this. Owlcat frowns. You catch a strange look in her eyes. A mixture of sadness, relief, and shame. Tervantias shrugs and the spark of curiosity in his eyes fades. Master Tervantias, I require a moment of your precious time, and I'm willing to pay for it. After rummaging through what you have, Tervantias pulls out a fragment of flesh that has caught his eye. He splits off a piece of it, places it in his mouth, thinks for a while, and finally concludes. Curious. You've earned my attention, Specimen. Speak quickly. My comrade Cybermassive has been subjected to modification. Can you make him the way he was before? No. Someone cries out desperately before you can even finish formulating your request. Tervantias hisses in displeasure. Shift through that beast's inferior implants again. I would not have done so even once if I didn't have certain plans. It seems they have come to fruition, and so, the animal is no longer worth my attention. Despite the haemonculus' response, the Proctor steps forward to shield Glada from the Xenos. My condition has been rather grave since my arrival in Kimura. Can you mend my body? The loud click of his scissor-like fingers, Tervantias' voice turns ghoulish. Let's see what kind of interesting damage your body has taken, which parts of your miserable organics can be improved without inflicting any substantial harm on your sanity. Try not to scream. Some specimens end up tearing their vocal cords during this procedure. Then again, you'll scream whether you want to or not. Well, we're all fixed up at least. The appendages protruding from the Xenos' back move restlessly, emitting an unnerving screech. Tervantias is completely engrossed in his apparatus and spares you no attention. Alright, so you got the Rax macro steroidal gland. I'm gonna do that again. Hopefully I didn't waste that. I met a monster in the Mangled Sector, a creature that can steal years of its victims' lives and mutilate their bodies. Are you able to heal that? Tervantias' mechanical limbs start to wave with excitement. I recognize the mark of the Catonus's exquisite feeding. What an honor it is for you to be the vessel with which my marvelous creation satisfies its thirst, and to give your modest life force so it may be transformed by an energy converter. Fear not, specimen. It is within my power to reverse the effects of its touch. The Catonus was an interesting experiment, one that could convert the life forces of its victims into fuel, but it was a flawed, disobedient specimen that escaped. He glances at you mockingly. I do not recommend escaping, specimen. The pain from the transformation only stops after I inject the blocker, and I only do it at the end of the procedure. You wish to spend the rest of your existence with the sensation of your skin melting and your bones snapping. I shall need equipment if I am to kill your enemies. The servants are always dragging worthless trifles in here. I have no use for them. Find yourself a club or a sharp stick suited to your abilities. You could try something more advanced, assuming you're not afraid of accidentally killing yourself with it. Alright, Glimmer Steel Blade. Black Haze Venom Blade. Attacks against targets suffering from toxin. Apply the toxin effect with the same power to all enemies within a 2-cell radius of the target. Freerunner Boots. The wearer becomes immune to the slowed and immobilized effects. Exoskeletal Gloves. The wearer gains 10 strength and 5 toughness. Haemonculus' Injector. Restores 45 wounds, removes bleeding, burning, toxin, and melting. Heals 1 trauma and all injuries without skill tests. That's pretty good. A Dark Swiftness. Gains 40% dodge until the start of their next round. The user suffers a -10 penalty to agility, strength, and willpower during the next round. Self-destruct algorithm. Server Skull Swarm gains 10 fellowship and intelligence. Once the Server Skull Swarm's wounds are reduced to 0, it deals 24 shock damage with 50% armor penetration to each enemy in a 4-cell radius. Another piece of the Steel Triad. I don't need to read that. Now we've got 2 pieces. The Smell of Fear. Cybermastiff gains +10 weapon skill and strength and deals 200% more damage. At the start of the apprehended enemy's turn, the enemy must pass a toughness resistance test with a -7 penalty. If failed, the Cybermastiff attacks the enemy, dealing 100% more damage. The protected ally gains the Combat Master effect. Law of Equilibrium. Cyber Raven gains 15 willpower. At the end of the Overseer's turn, allies in a 4-cell radius around the Cyber Raven have their burning, toxin, and bleeding level reduced by -8, and enemies in that area suffering any of those effects have their level increased by +2. Targeted Harassment. Cyber Eagle gains 20 agility and perception and deals 250% more damage. Whenever the obstructed enemy is hit by an attack, excluding the Cyber Eagle's attacks, for the first 2 times in a round, Cyber Eagle attacks that enemy as well, dealing 100% more damage. As attack hits, enemies become staggered. Sardi's Chain Sword. The Chain Sword grants 10% critical hit chance. Chain weapons deal 25% more critical damage. We've seen before. Red Wolf Skull. Where it gains 10% armor and immunity to all critical hits. Skjald's Furs. When the wearer kills an enemy, momentum is additionally increased by twice the target's difficulty tier. And Lullaby of Shael. Whenever the wearer attacks with this weapon scores a critical hit, its base damage is increased by +1 until the end of combat. Nice. But more importantly, it did give us most of our stuff back. That's good. Still like to have my boots. Probably that one. And my shield. I do like the Flames of Retribution. Quite a bit. Now, Steel Triad will be good, I think, once we get all 3 pieces. And once we have Heinrichs back in the party, we can give it to all 3 of my shield-wielding companions. This is still an upgrade for Abelard. I think the, that. Now we have this 32 to 40. Bane of Sorrow, is that the, Yeah, more damage to Drukhari enemies. It's probably worth using while we're here. I probably don't need to make any other changes. Probably give him a shield. He has the old shield. $27 to $35 is more damage. This does... They gain +1 attack to the start of their next turn. Yeah, that's too good to pass up, I think. 24 to... An extra attack for parrying. Can't beat that. Alright. I'd like to speak with you about a member of my retinue who's delivered to you. Which specimen in particular interests you? I'm looking for Heinrichs, my companion. Mankind male with a consistent connection to the Veil. Beautiful endurance for pain. His stubbornness produces high-grade essences of torment positively frothing with agony. Wait until he has expended, you may have whatever is left. My bodyguard Cabela, you have her. There we go. And talk. A female specimen, negligible veil influence, primitive notions of death. I disproved her views on cessation of existence by way of reanimation and uncomplicated manipulation of the mind. You may take your Mankai servant, or however many of her there are left in there. I intend to dispose of them all the same. Those of my retinue deserve better than to be confined by you. Relinquish them. Tervantias gives you a look of confusion. Why would I, specimen? With a full escort, I would have better chances of succeeding and contributing to your plans. Then find yourself other fighters. Chasm has enough prisoners, mercenaries, and gladiators. My specimens are not yours to waste. Press your weapon to the base of your own jaw. Unless you want to lose a valuable specimen, you will release my companion immediately. What a confident specimen. A thin smile spreads across his lips. Do it. Kill yourself. I can always reanimate your body. But will I? When I stand for you keeping my companion captive, do not try my patience, Xenos. Tervantias hisses and jerks his fan of limbs fitted with sharp implements. Do not make demands of me, specimen. I might decide that you're also in need of a collar. I'll find a way to free them, no matter what you do or say. Once they've exhausted their utility, I'll let you take the scraps. I've learned all I wanted. Do not waste my time, specimen. I wish to know more about you and your craft. I'm not in the habit of conversing with specimens, but if it increases your motivation to serve... What is your craft? An absurd question befitting your small-minded kind. The homunculi are artists of anguish and the masters of flesh. The delvers into unexplored sources of pain. The greatest among their people. My head holds a brilliant intellect. My hands command power over life and death. My body is the pinnacle of surgical discipline. Our minds hold the knowledge of hundreds of generations. Are you aware of the beautiful variety of essences that can be extracted from the psychic energy of a dying sentient creature? Of the ways shades of torment and methods of termination alter an essence's properties. This is the great alchemy of death and transformation. You might understand that the most fearsome Drukhari warriors are created by artisans such as you. Without a doubt. Even the most skilled witches and mighty Kabbalites, are outstripped by the pure destructiveness of our genius. Yet I long ago rose above the building of commonplace battle beasts. The monstrosities I create are unique. My last specimen, the Katonos, surpassed every trifle ever made by my rivals. I fed elite warriors until it escaped and hid in the mangled sector. I would have caught it, but then a new idea drew my attention. At present, I'm working on a grotesque of previously unknown power built from the most exquisite and exotic body parts from strong fighters. Specimen. Should you ever see the corpse of a fine warrior or a mighty creature lying at your feet, cut out the best part and bring it to me. I shall find you some interesting samples. Kai Morag, Elentok. Do not get enough monsters in this accursed city. Good specimen. Your cooperation will be rewarded. Smile obsequiously. Until this day, I could only dream of meeting such a wise and enlightened being. The homunculus's limbs react with an excited clatter of blades. A few equals in Kimura. My knowledge is vast, and it goes beyond the mysteries of flesh and essences. I've observed many disjunctions where the destructive energies of the unreal erupted here in the webway. I've studied that devastating force and learned to harness it. I've created psi stiflers to keep the space around the spire intact. I've touched knowledge so ancient. Tervantias abruptly ends his speech, casts a suspicious look at you, and then snaps. It is not necessary for you to know this, specimen. Why did I survive the interrogation to which Marizai brought me? Your body was given to me for disposal. It was thrown into the cesspit. The homunculus's voice grows thoughtful. It is an anomaly that the specimen did not die. I must consider fitting the disposal chute with a shredding mechanism. Clearly it shakes her head. The Master of Flesh is twisting the truth, Elentok. Had the Arabinian not interfered in the Archon's trial, it is likely that anyone could have survived that questioning. Unlikely, sorry. Let us stop there. The homunculus looks at you with an impatient and unsettling grimace. I found some materials. Are they suitable for your new monster? You brought me nothing of interest, only the trivial and dull. Disappointing. Search harder, specimen. I must take my leave. With a weary sigh, the homunculus turns away from you, his knife-like fingers making a unnerving scraping sound. Well, I think I'm going to call it here. We'll read this real quick. You vividly remember lying on this table, watching mechanical pincers tear through your flesh. Yeah, we'll call it here, and next time we will explore this area and go from there. But for now, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.